What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to our broadcast. This is Team Fortress TV, and you are watching ETF2L Season 33, Generation Karnax versus Elektro. Our production tonight being handled by Wiethoofd. I am one of your two casters. My name is eXtine, and I am joined by Bum. How you doing, Bum?
I'm doing brilliant, eXtine. Excited to see some Week 5 action.
Yeah, me as well. We got two maps ahead of us, as is the standard format in these parts of the world. It's going to be Process to start us off, and then we're going to move into Metalworks. We'll talk about Metalworks more when we get there, but, sort of back into the map pool, so kind of a newer experience that should be fun to witness. Process, much love, though. These two teams, how do you think they stack up against each other, Bum?
Well, Elektro, clearly the stronger team on paper. They've got that fight for 4th place going with War and Sons this season, and this is going to be a critical game for them to collect some points, hopefully, after losing some points to Goon Squad earlier in the season, and they've also had their more tricky games in the first half of the season so far, losing to 7 last week, of course. So I'd expect them to be winning, but if Generation Karnax can pull some points out to get themselves out of the gutter at the bottom of the league table at the moment, then that would be brilliant for them.
Yeah, certainly pride on the line, as always, in the realm of competitive TF2. Plenty to play for as these players just, want to prove themselves, want to prove for their community. And Operation Karnax have been playing for quite a while. So they have some history that they've built upon. We'll see what they can do on Process once we get underway. Waiting for a few more players to get in. Do you want to run down the Elektro roster that we have here?
Yeah, sure. We've got Nevo and Yeehaw on Scouts. We have Azunis on Roma. Fluo is going to be murking in for Poison tonight on Pocket. And then we have Eames and Demos on Demoman and Medic, respectively.
And over for Generation Karnax, we got 3 of the players in the server right now. That's going to be Olga and on the Scout, and then Raf and Duo on the Soldier. Rest of the roster is going to be Moolah, Alien Smiley, and Karnax are the roster players. Eames saying, "Can you guys hurry up?" So,
I agree, Eames.
Yeah, we are a little bit behind scheduled time. That is the 15 minutes. I do believe there were some server issues, which always, sort of gives a little bit of space, but, they should have been here 15 minutes ago. So if there's, server issues, then you got to be there anyways.
Yeah. Now's not the time to be sorting it out, you amateurs.
This is professional Team Fortress.
Yeah, this is serious business, guys.
Well, for sure, I've always held the belief that, just kind of bringing a professional attitude towards match days does reflect in your gameplay. Are your teeth brushed? Have you taken a shower? Are you wearing real pants, or is it pajamas? Are you at your match on time? And, or electric.
Do you have matching socks?
Yeah, matching socks. That's another good one. Yeah, lucky underwear, your lucky shorts, perhaps. But that's, we don't need to knock on Generation Karnax, for being late. They're also asking about a Merc, so they might need a +1. The Shorty, are you familiar?
No,
with them?
I believe they might be joking. That's
wow.
a world famous TF2 center veteran.
Ooh, excellent. Well, that's all right. Olga continuing the jokes, saying fear, but oh well. Been seeing some of these players over in the ETF2L Nations Cup Highlander, including Yeehaw, the scout for Elektro, and Eames as well, playing demo for England. Put on a good performance, but wasn't quite enough to defeat Poland.
I'd imagine this is quite a lot of the French roster as well. I don't know about the Highlander, but these are more of the experienced Frenchies in the scene.
Yeah, I didn't get to see the French matches, but certainly cool to see a lot of the crossover here in the Sixes, premier players playing in the Highlander Nations Cup. different format, but you need all the skilled players that you can get. And, well, that's definitely no disrespect to Highlander, but you got a lot of people that are really kind of focusing on the craft of rocket jumping, throwing out damage as Demo Man and hitting scattergun shots, and those are pretty important skills in the world of Highlander.
Yeah, I'm not a Highlander player myself, but it's definitely very comparable, all the skill sets required, and that's why you see a lot of these Sixes players even playing the off classes that aren't regularly played in Sixes in Highlander seasons, because just being overall good at TF2 means you're good at TF2. You don't have to be reserved to that singular class that you're good at.
Exactly. And there is some flexibility for off-classing here on Process. Of course, maybe another factor is we always do see a lot of off-classing when one team is feeling disadvantaged, whether they're getting pushed into at last, just generally speaking, or whether there's a large Uber advantage as well. That's when you'll see the Engineer, the Heavy, or the Spy, or even Pyro come out. A lot of good opportunities for everything, and certainly all the classes do come into play on Sixes. Sometimes, certain maps are a little bit more accommodating to that, and I think Process is one of them.
Yeah, well, Nevo's practicing his sniper in the warm-up already. Of the Aura matches I've watched this season, I think Nevo has played sniper in all of them. If he sees the opportunity, we'll probably certainly be seeing him taking a few shots as the Australian. And Process is definitely, it's more than comfortable for a sniper, getting this long sight line over the choke into mid from either direction.
Yeah, there's not too many maps these days where you can kind of really confidently be in like a stalemate on second and be like, you know what, we're going to run sniper here. That was kind of a trend for a little bit on Goalie Wash. You still rarely see that, but it does pop up. But Process, those sight lines on second, kind of going either way, are great, and attacking into last is even a good amount of opportunities for a sniper. You'll see, of course, the counter sniper as well. Looks like we are going live here finally. So getting underway, our ETF2L Season 33 matchup here. We got Generation Karnax versus Aura Elektro. I'm one of your hosts, eXtine, joined by Bomb. We should have some good action ahead of us here as our rollout starts. And Duo pretty quick over to the bottle, but we do have one of our soldiers, Azuris, for Aura Elektro, taking the crates early. Both the scouts now taking that position. Olga and company rotating for Generation Karnax. Quick fights here as Aura Elektro definitely have the high ground. They're getting the frags as well. Eames gets two. Two more have gotten killed as well. But, I think he just
Mueller just kill-binded out of there. That was not a great mid for Generation Karnax at all. The Demo Man so slow to get to mid, never got out of choke. And Aura Elektro took all the high ground with their scouts and their soldiers going up top early, and then the Demo Man died almost instantly on that mid, and the collapse just came in on that suicide. So full advantage now for Demos coming into last.
Yeah, it was not a good rotation for him. Right now, Demos trying to push forward with Eames here and Yeehaw. They're going to pop the overcharge. Eames able to get forward as well. Yeehaw is now going to rotate over to point. Just be able to clear these stickies off with the scatter gun. They do get popped in as RAF bombs, but that's just going to be too easy.
Yeah, everyone locked in spawn. Two scouts playing the point. A clinical last push for Aura Elektro and an early 1-0 lead in only 90 seconds, eXtine.
Yeah, that was pretty swift, but there's certainly kind of some opportunities to make some changes here. We see if they go grass side. CC looks like he got a much better ramp slide in. They're actually out here first. Duo very banged up though, so Azuris is going to get the cleanup there. Azunis, excuse me. I think it's going to get him pushed back here. Another bomb forward by Azunis. Doesn't take a whole lot of damage. Able to bomb away. Get Michael Keel. Olga going down as well. The retreat underway once more. And there's the kill line once more.
Yeah. Azunis with 2 big bombs, gets that first pick and hits the demo down low at the start of the mid-fight and just decides to jump out and get straight back in for his second kill afterwards. And from there, it's a 6v4 fight, and Aura Elektro really just roll it forwards.
Yeah, Duo got out there quicker, you know, but just took too much damage, and then that early pick, Demo Man being isolated. We have Karnax on the sniper here. Eames just going to Uber in and get right on top of the spawn door. Again, Yeehaw standing on the point. A lot of pressure there. They're trying to respond to it. Yeehaw still there. No, Olga cannot get out. That is a quick 2-0 now.
Yeah, they are great at playing this point on last. They just give Yeehaw a good chunk of that Uber. He can shoot off those stickies really safely and just play the point all the way while taking those heals. And Eames locking down both spawns. Both of these rounds have actually been 75 seconds long, so it's a quick roll here at the start for Aura Elektro.
Yeah, and Generation Karnax playing things a little bit slower this time, waiting for bombs to come in. Raph goes for a double bomb. It's actually pretty high up there. Duo now bouncing backwards. Karnax has gone down. There's just one of the scouts. Actually, a decent mid-fight so far for him, as it's just a straight trade. Nebo getting thrown around as well. We'll just double jump to dodge that damage. Ooh. But there we go. Nice bomb in. Duo and Demo's down as well to the demo pipe. Yeehaw barely alive. Backs up. Azuna's still in here. The Demo Man's going to find him, though. A little bit slow on the capture here. Yeehaw has found some health and is feeling like coming back in. Other soldier has returned as well. But they do get the kill on Fluo, actually.
Yeah, and Aura just elect to get out now without even going for Moolah, the force there. That was a huge bomb and the follow-up pipe from Alien Smiley. Getting that kill onto Demos nice and early on the mid, and now they can roll this into second with their big advantage.
A lot of damage on Azunas. He's got to back up. They're going to choose to just kind of continue or send everybody back. Duo does go down, so they're going to think about it here, but the capture's certainly going to go the way of Generation Karnax. And
yep,
they're certainly in the lead of this round.
It's still a 20% advantage, but are they going to get it in time? They're electing to come in with it anyway, but Demos is just about to get his Uber. The sentry gun is still up, but the lock and load disposes of it quickly. They have very little cap time at the moment, and now Demos has not even had to use. It's a full advantage for Red, but they're all getting collapsed on in this corner. He does have to pop it off eventually, but all the kills are going Aura's way. That's a very clean hold.
Yeah, you know, I just didn't see the commitment there that I would have liked from Generation Karnax.
Oh,
That said, Alien Smiley commits, goes for the flank from rollout. Nobody watches him. So much time on it. There was sort of some questionable things with that push. Like I was saying, I don't think they committed initially enough when they pushed him with that Uber charge, because they got 2 frags immediately. It could have worked. They could have just forced out the Uber earlier, but at the end, they did make it happen. Let's see if they can have another successful mid-fight here. Azunas actually gets crushed by the lock and load. So a good early start here. Could get to that health pack on the side. Alien Smiley starting to turn up here. Generation Karnax forces Aura Elektro out.
This was looking like such a roll eXtine. We could be in for a lot better game than we expected now, as a Generation Karnax take their second mid-fight in a row. Although the sack from Raph does not go very well for them, and Duo gets picked off as well on the flank.
Yeah, it could be a return to form of sorts here, as they have to be very careful here. Azunas comes in, he kind of gets shoved back by things. This supercharge is going to get forced out eventually. Question is how many players are left when it does come out. Alien Smiley has gone down, Scout's going out, and Demos hasn't had to use here yet. Looks like they'll actually go into sewers.
Alien dying on the point there is not great for them at all. They're looking to just prod through sewers, but whether they'll be able to get anything done is another question. And now Azunas in with a big bomb straight onto Moolah and gets the force.
Yeah, Raph was kind of doing decent work over on sewer side, but they couldn't stop that soldier. And the pop, unfortunate for Generation Karnax, that sets him back.
Yeah, Generation Karnax just holding pretty far back on mid, making sure they don't get forced at all with Demos' 100% advantage here. And now
Duo though was just left alone on IT side. Easy kill for Elektro though.
Yeah, they've got their spawners up, so they're going to be looking to go now through IT. They're going to be coming in with Nevo and Eames by the looks of it. They're not going to have to use, which is great for them here, but Mula should get this Ubercharge before the last push.
Yeah, they definitely don't really offer a defense on second. Want to get this charge here for the defense on last. Alien Smiley completely alone gets destroyed on the right side. No Ubercharge there to save him, even though the percentage had been built. They're getting some frags now. Eames still around the point. There is a scout back there to deal with them over on lobby side. Generation Karnax has pushed forward, continuing to get some frags here. Eames now going to get cleaned up as Olga is on the point capturing it.
Yeah, that was great focus fire, seeing that Alien was nowhere near his team. An instant demo man kill, very useful on last, but then when the Ubercharge gets popped in return, they all get crushed in one, and now Mula and his team going to be pushing into mid with his advantage. No one's getting in onto him, so they're going to force all of Aura out, and Demos actually goes very low there in the choke as well. Alien's looking to get that finishing bit of damage to kill Demos, but he can't quite get it.
Yeah, they're finding some other frags though, as Raph trying to get an air shot on Yeehaw. He's actually just going to crater down. Demos still kind of retreating carefully.
But Mula did get forced behind now by Azunis. He was 20 health.
Mid yet.
Azunis just hiding at the rock. Yeah, a lot of players got behind in that, and now Raph is in behind, and he gets big kills onto Demos and Yeehaw.
Soldier flank plays after soldier flank plays. This one's pretty devastating, and certainly looks like Aura Elektra on the back foot here. As the Uberless push is going to come in here. They have a big numbers advantage. Olga teasing the stickies off the point as well. There's a back cap attempt that doesn't matter because Karnax gets the captured. We are tied 2-2 after two back-to-back 75-second rounds. 2 rounds back-to-back, 75 seconds from Aura Elektra. And now within 10 minutes, we're tied up 2-2. Crazy game.
Yeah, Generation Karnax really pulling it back here. Will they be able to take this 5th mid-fight?
Alien Smiley all the way, able to work all the way up the right-hand side. Now starting to get some support and some control of containers from his scouts. Duo, yeah, actually because he gets away, pretty decent bomb. Also the bomb from the other side, Fluo, doesn't happen. And actually fantastic serve from Mula. He landed on the shed with 13 health. If he had landed on the ground, I do believe he would have cratered there.
Yeah, that's a good mid-fight from Generation Karnax, and a huge save there by Mula with that surf. The bombs didn't look too successful from Generation Karnax to begin with, but just forcing the players out of position was good enough without the kills. But now Demos has used his Uber. Olga's going to get caught here in return. Mula does not actually have it yet.
Yeah.
And now he's getting chased all the way into middle. Azunis is going to try and go for this force here, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get it. Everyone on the high ground, they're just going to back out, give up mid, and repush with the full advantage when their players get here.
Right, and they're responding right now, so they also kind of have Raph in sewers for sticking the forearm out, making sure that nobody's going to be coming through there, and some scouts watching IT as well. So they're ready for this defense. They want to push back out here. Azunis hiding on the side. He's going to actually be able to bounce to that health pack and get away, which is nice. Aura Elektra starting to back out here.
And Azunis in with the bomb now. He's on to Mula.
And gets the force. Well, the Uber's going to flip-flop here as Demos 93% will get the charge. But Generation Karnax aggressive here since they have some numbers. If they can get this to be a bad Uber, they can still maybe take second here. And deep, lots of pressure. But 2 players going down, Duo and Alien Smiley. Now they're on the back foot themselves. Mula getting taken out. Generation Karnax too hasty with that play.
Yeah, I don't like the sack 3 people for a force play in any situation, but especially into process second, there's no way you're not going to get absolutely destroyed after that. And they do get fully wiped on the midpoint here as Aura Elektro. They still don't have Demos spawned, so they're going to be very hesitant to go into second, and they do lose Nevo on the flank as well. They're just going to give up entirely as Demos has actually spawned alone and no one's picked him up, which has given Mula a sizable advantage, 30%.
Oh, wow. Yeah, as well as they're really playing off the heals smartly here. They realize with that kill on Nevo that they have a heal buff advantage. Alien Smiley goes down early though, which is unfortunate. The fight's going to continue though. Dewo now in trouble. They've gotten the kill on Azunas, but that's about it so far. Now they pick off Fluo. Bore up for Aura Electra. But Generation Karnax now feeling a little bit more nervous. They're on the edge of mid here, deciding whether they should go in or out.
Yeah, a 4v4 fight. They've just got Alien as a spawn, but he doesn't get the forwards, obviously, with Aura Electro being in control of the point. And I don't think Mula notices that he has this 50% advantage, which is what it turned out to be in the end. I think he was probably expecting someone to have picked up Demos and been building, but the healing on Aura's side was actually really bad there, and it ended up with a 50% advantage in favor of the Frenchies at one point.
Yeah,
but
I like.
For now, we just
I like that retreat call. I feel like they could have, you know. Oh, we have a pause, unfortunately. I like the retreat call. Certainly, I think that if they knew about that Uber advantage, they could have just taken all of those buffs that they were getting. You know, it seemed like they could have just stayed in and fight. At the same time, some people were kind of banked up. Alien Smiley went down too early in that mid fight, so they were about to buff him back up, and then certainly had a great opportunity to push back in. But it seems like they've chosen to just kind of keep the defense. You know, this game probably going to slow down a little bit tempo-wise now.
Yeah, this is going to be probably our first stalemate of the game, I believe. Everyone's been all over the place so far. 2 quick rounds and then 2 pretty back and forth fights for the next 2 rounds. But now it seems we're just going to be stalemating as Aura are starting to move close to choke now that Generation Karnax have let their advantage go. What do you reckon these teams are going to be trying to do to break the stalemate, eXtine?
Well, we do have all the buffs up for Aura Electro. You know, a kind of surprise. IT push could work out well. Seems like IT has been kind of lightly guarded by Generation Karnax, just sitting duo over there. He did get picked off earlier, so I would say that that would be a pretty good route for him. Everybody's up, so you can't switch into a sniper or something crazy like that. But we'll see what they do here as the gameplay is underway again.
Yep, and we've just got Aura moving close to choke as expected.
Yeah, I would think that they'd want to try to take the aggression here and feel confident about themselves. They sent a lot of players over on the flank IT side, and they lose 2. I tried to call
in return they get. Oh, they did get Nevo in behind, but he gets picked off eventually, and now Generation Karnax all flooding in through the choke. Demos has to get out without using here, but he's caught, and he does have to pop in the choke. Mula pops off in return, so it's not too bad, but it's a much better Uber, and Eames is gonna have to just jump in. He knows he's not getting out. He's causing a pretty good distraction. Everyone comes back for him, but it's still all in favor of Generation Karnax. 2 picks as well to push into second here.
Yeah, he kind of got oddly thrown around, but certainly not the best Uber charge there for Demos and company. You're going to lose Spire, and Generation Karnax in great position here.
It definitely seemed like Demos could have got out of the choke there. I don't know why he was hanging around in that corner so much, but Mula, there's a soldier onto him in choke, whilst his team is pushing into last. What is going on? He somehow stays alive, and everyone just floods on the point in last. That was so strange.
Yeah, Demos got
that's when the pause happened
upstairs. Yeah, there was the pause there, so it could have actually been a tactical pause. People were speculating that in the chat. And Aura Electro definitely have to get their game together, because 2 extremely fast rounds catching Generation Karnax offhand. But now they've certainly been looking to be the weaker team, giving that round up, unfortunately.
Yep, and now the double bomb forwards by the red soldiers is going to get cleaned up quite easily.
They do trade some frags though, at least, as they've lost Azunas, but Aura Electro now finding Raph and Alien Smiley. Karnax, just Mula left, and this time I don't think he's going to kill bind. Demo Man is chasing, Mula is weak. Oh, Sticky at the feet. The second one shoves him in. Oh, it gets him! It was Yeehaw supporting with the pistol. Very unfortunate. You always hate to say the medic should have kill-bound there, but, you know.
Well, that's so unfortunate that he gets caught right at the spawn door at the end, and that late death is going to mean they don't even have heals on last when Demos is coming in with his 100% Uber. The sentry is only level 1, and it will get taken down straight away, and they're just going to be doing the same last push as usual. Yeehaw's playing the point, although he hasn't got as much cap time as usual, and now that Eames gets picked off, it's all kind of falling apart for Elektro. Duo is behind in lobby as well. Going to be getting it in onto Demos and picks up that frag in bottom lobby. It's just Yeehaw left alive here.
Yeah, Fluo had his pickaxe there, not prepared to defend himself. And, you know, it is TF2. Got to be prepared to defend yourself at all times. That's what the referee says before the match, right? But just great counterplay by Generation Karnax as that push in the last fell apart.
Yeah, that was disappointing from Elektro. It seemed like they had the absolute perfect push set up for them with no heals on the Frenchy side. But Nevo in the forward spawn picks off Moolah with the sneaky sniper play. And now this could be what Elektro needed to hold on to this midpoint. Everyone's bombing forward for the counter-sack onto Demos, and they're not going to get it by the looks of it. But Karnax is in behind. He could get this.
Oh, Olga supporting as well. Olga comes in, got the kill on one of the soldiers, but then runs out of scattergun shots and can't find it with the pistol. Damage players for Elektro, but they're going to regroup and move forward. One of their players actually over.
Duo in behind.
Second, yeah, very
Duo is still in behind on Choke. He's going to be bombing in now onto Demos.
Oh,
he gets
finds him
one
with the
nice
first rocket, but yeah, shoves him into IT. That's really hard to follow up on.
Yep, so after that great sniper play from Nevo, as we were anticipating in the pregame, they've got themselves another chunky advantage for last here. Hopefully they can play the point a bit better than last time, and the sentry is actually on the left with a pyro helping to reflect now, so most of the Uber goes on to focusing that down. All the players are stuck in this right-hand spawn for Generation Karnax, so the point can be played very easily. Good lockdown from Elektro, and we're up to 3-3.
Yeah, very strong final push there from Elektro. Getting that gun, locking him into spawn, and then pressuring the point as well, not being too scared of those stickies that were present. So things tied 3-3. After that tactical pause, it was a really good mid-fight by Elektro. We see how things go here. And so far, kind of slow. Eames just kind of staying central. Double bomb coming over from Duo and Raph. They do get on top of Eames. They don't quite get the finish, though. Eames will get
and Azunis is behind them in sewer, takes up Mula as they try to retreat, and that's going to help them Demos.
That's at least something. But yeah, indeed, just a devastating bomb and coordination from Azunis and company.
Yep. They're forcing everyone onto the suicide on Generation Karnax, and then the sneaky Azunis flank picks them up as they retreat with all the players coming towards them over the pack. And now it's even Ubers, so these... Oh my god!
Big bomb in, gets the kill on Mula.
Yeah, Fluo just bombing one there as his team left second, so... Now a big advantage for Demos again. Taking a free second point here. We're going to see another sentry and probably pyro on last. We all know how much Olga loves playing that pyro class.
And it looks like he's going to roll out on heavy, but indeed pyro, when you have an ubercharge advantage coming at you on last, pyro is a fantastic option. The ubercharge though, well, the medic and company look like they do want to move through lower. It's going to be moving in with Eames, and Yeehaw. Eames gets thrown forward, but nobody can kind of catch him or damage him while he was vulnerable for a split second there. Raph does get a kill up top on Fluo. No time on the point yet. This is kind of not going that great for Elektro. Yeehaw in some trouble, but he's still fighting over on the left-hand side. Karnax has gone down, but it's a 3-on-4. Elektro going to back up. We'll have an ubercharge advantage for Mula, and they'll be at full strength in 10 seconds here.
Yeah, not as great as their last pushes have been in the first half of the game. Again from Elektro. The bomb forward from Eames didn't get as much as if he just walked with his combo at the start of the game. They didn't get as much cap time on the point with Yeehaw again, and now Generation Karnax are Ubering in from IT.
Oh, good damage on tables! Oh, just barely gets his shoulders underneath a pipe that was whizzing by from Alien Smiley. He had taken a lot of damage, able to get away.
Yep, so Demos with the full Uber charge now, but with 2 down, they're just going to chill out on this mini Spire and let Generation Karnax set up their traps around the choke. As it looks like they're trying to come through sewers here. Eames is trying to clear these stickies on the door. Yeehaw's made a bit of space. Well, they're all on the low ground and kind of weak here. This could be a very good place for a force from Generation Karnax if anyone was to fully commit to it. But now the soldiers from Aura Elektro going all the way in, forcing these players out of the choke. Dwo gonna get cleaned up here by Yeehaw, and now it's a 3v4 on mid. Mular's got his Uber charge up in the meantime, so for a second we should be seeing it slow down a bit, but actually no, Aura are just trying to prod in with this one player advantage. They know they've got their spawns faster as well. But
yeah, they're just kind of hanging out at choke now. Yeehaw takes a pipe, they're gonna back up.
Yeah, they decide best not. And now an Uber versus Uber situation with 7 minutes left on the clock and the score at 3-3. This is a lot closer than I expected it to be, eXtine, with the 8th place team involved.
Yeah, certainly. Generation Karnax have put up a fantastic fight here. They've been able to play from the defensive side as well, so they shouldn't be too worried after not controlling mid. They are trading out though,
Mular
as well.
goes down.
Oh, wow.
Oh no, Azunis had a great bomb, but Mular surfed it all the way away, and then Eames hits him with a sticky down to 2 health, and the scout cleans that up for the drop on Mular. What an incredible play, and now they have full advantage. Coming in through this far left sewer entrance, it doesn't look like anyone's going to be sacking even on Generation Karnax's side. So another full advantage here for Demos. Can their Uber into last be any better than their last attempts? They're electing to come through 1 for the first time this game. Demos fails his first bomb. They've not got much with this Uber at all. It's not going great. But now the soldiers rebombing from Generation Karnax. Still very little cap time, and Olga coming out the spawn door on Putis, trying to clean people up. And Nevo manages to finish off that cap. 4-3.
The stickies in the heavy weapons guy, not enough to kill that scout outright. So able to sneak that capture up. We've seen a lot of quick rounds, but most of those quick rounds have been for Aura Elektro. Generation Karnax, 6 minutes to work with here. Again, these mid fights have been a pretty interesting affair. Aura Elektro, again, 2 quick rolly rounds. After that, things kind of slowed down, but that last mid fight and the one before that, actually, I do believe, went for Aura, but they lose Azunis right away as this bomb over to the pack doesn't go out, and they are immediately pushed all the way out. Eames has to be a little bit careful walking away. Oh, Alien Smiley goes down right when Eames was walking across his sticky. I don't quite know if it was enough damage to kill him, though.
Yeah, unfortunate crater there from Alien Smiley. Makes it so that Generation Karnax can't roll forwards. You can see how much they want this game to speed up now that they're down 1 round.
Fluo,
so
big bomb in.
Fluo's in. But does not get Muller with that. So now the counter sack from Raf. Oh, straight onto Demos. Great force. And now Generation Karnax backing up, making sure they can't get forced here.
Oh, they lose Alien Smiley though, Generation Karnax. That's not going to stop them from pushing though, as they're going to go with both scouts here. They know they have such a huge Ubercharge advantage. They're being a little bit careful, looking for sticky traps. Oh, there we go. Karnax does get killed somehow from Eames spamming out pipes, and now they're backing up, choosing not to engage in this push.
Yep, all their players are still rolling out. Probably wise to wait for them to get here. And now Aura Elektro trying to prod and poke, but Fluo goes down from that forwards play here, and now far left is the call from Generation Karnax. They really need this round with 4 minutes left. They're going in deep with Mular. It's a solo Uber onto Olga. He might be able to clean up Eames here, but no, it looks like he's been ditched. And nothing achieved with the Uber.
Yeah, unfortunately that Olga wasn't able to get anything, but in the meantime, they are able to capture Spire, establish a little bit of territory here. We'll see what they can get out of Aurora Electra as they push in. Right now it's just a trade from Wrath, taking out Fluo, and looks like they are just going to concede this point as well. 4 minutes on the clock.
Yep, a soldier down for each team, but Demos with the advantage, and he knows it. They're going to be rolling into choke, but Duo is going in behind. No one has cleared sewer on Aura Electro. This could be the play that Generation Karnax need to stay in the game. Duo's all the way in, onto Demos with the drop. And now...
Terrible situation as he takes the one shot, doesn't realize the damage, the danger coming from behind him. Fluo now gets taken out as well. Nevo has dropped as well. Eames very banged up. He is all the way back in lobby. The soldier's going to jump back to Spire. And it looks like Generation Karnax going to move through IT and take this second point.
Yep, 3 minutes left on the clock now. This needs to be their push to tie up the game. They're going to leave one player capping and just go straight into last with Alien and Olga here, taking down that level 1 sentry. Azunis bombing forwards both soldiers.
We do have the overcharge in here from Olga. Maybe a little early, but he's getting the flash on it. Okay, the stickies have been popped on the point. It's not going to work out. I think they're just going to back it up here. Alien Smiley, 4 health. We'll get an arrow heal. But that push, a failure so far.
Yep, everyone just holding really far back on the Aura side. That heavy up top, players in both spawn doors, and no kills were gained. They tried to get the point, but it didn't work out, and now Aura have pushed out. They've got 2 picks as well as the slight advantage, so they will be looking to get mid here as well. Eames just putting up his traps and getting out.
Yeah, big jump from Fluo to take those containers. There's still 2 minutes left on the clock.
Duo is hiding again, and Duo's in and gets another kill onto Demos. Duo is going crazy this game, getting all the med picks he needs. And now Generation Karnax coming back in after Mula gets his Uber.
Yeah, that completely changes the scenario there. Duo with a huge pickoff on Demos. And Aura Electra on the retreat again and actually fully conceding the second point, which I'm sure Generation Karnax will figure out shortly here. The sentry gun going up on last.
Yeah, and this is the 3rd opportunity that's been gifted to Generation Karnax to tie up this game. Another big add into last. Will they be able to make this one count and get it to 4-4? Alien is a bit forwards in lobby, looking to take it through this 4 entrant with Olga.
They are gonna use right around the corner on Olga. Get the kill on the sentry gun as well, but the trap gets the kill. Yeah, the trap gets the kill on Alien Smiley, so he gets dropped. Duo has gone down as well. They're continuing to fight here, but now just going for Demos as they realize that there's stickies on the point and just kind of pushing that hard would just expose themselves to danger. They're gonna back up. They're gonna have to take one more stab at it. And Karnax pushing forward, trying to get a frag on the side. Does trade with Azunis. But,
yeah, it seemed like a bit of miscommunication in lobby there. Alien was far forwards, looking like he was expecting the use, and then backs off a bit as Olga goes in and takes the Uber on himself. Obviously, Alien doesn't get flashed, and who knows, if he did, this could be a completely different story right now. But with 40 seconds left on the clock, they're just going to have to take an Uber versus Uber fight into last, see if they can make anything work for this golden cap.
Yeah, it's a tense scenario, that's for sure. Essentially on the point, trying to get it to level 3 before this fight breaks out.
Oh, no.
They get 2 kills. Alien Smiley and Olga have gone down. Fluo traded in exchange, and now the Ubercharge forced out as well. Karnax has gone down. This is certainly unraveling for Generation Karnax. Going down, oh no.
I don't know if that was just unfortunate or just terrible from Mula, but didn't pop on either of his players. They both died to the same trap on that 4-door, and now it is over for Generation Karnax. Gonna be the map going 4-3 to Aura Elektro, taking 3 points for this first map of this official.
And certainly, you know, gives you some credit, or some credit is due for Generation Karnax putting on a fantastic fight in this match, keeping it very close, but also definitely gives you some perspective overall just how that match went. of the differences between an 8th place team and a 5th place team fighting for 4th, currently tied in the rankings for 4th. They just, had it a little bit more put together on some of these pushes. Generation Karnax kind of had some sloppy moments, or Elektro just kind of with the continuous pressure. That's what really helped them get that 4th point, that 4th round, and outlasting Generation Karnax in a very close match on process.
Yeah, Generation Karnax were really relying on those hero plays of Duo all too often, it seemed, and thank God they managed to get them, but in the end, still not enough to take down Aura Elektro. And those are critically important points for Aura Elektro's standings, obviously in this fight for the 4th place, the final playoff spot. And they should be expected to get these points off the lower ranked teams, which they haven't managed to do in the past this season. But maybe this could be their turnaround. Maybe they'll roll Ascent next week. Who knows?
Hey, anything is possible. But it's just a one step at a time process. They've done the first step of the night. That is to take the first map process. We're heading into Metalworks here. As you know, if Aura Elektro is well processed, they've figured out Metalworks.
I have no idea of this unfamiliar territory for us Euros. We've just got on the Metalworks train.
Well, why don't we take a look at the logs real quick from process, and indeed had a sneaking suspicion as things were playing out, but yeehaw, top fragger, ooh-wee. He actually had less deaths than the medics.
Yeah.
6 deaths that whole match.
The
Eames
big
actually also with a very respectable
KD.
8, but yeah, crazy there, 5.0.
And Eames putting out all the damage on this server, breaking the 300 mark, everyone else around 250 or less. So if you were to look at this just by pure kills and damage, you would have expected Aura Elektro to have got a lot higher score than they did on these logs. So you can see it's not all just coming down to these fights, it's these crucial mistakes that Aura were making that stopped it from being such a dominant game. Like not clearing out their flanks, letting Duo get those big forces and drops when he needed to. Mular actually getting less deaths than Demos as well.
One stat that I find interesting there is that Azunis and Fluo both died 21 times. Pretty high up there compared to the rest of their team. Nebo dying 12, Demos 9, Eames 8. But that just kind of shows you that there's a kind of cohesive game plan where Aura Elektro are going to bomb in, cohesively together. They're going to get damage, and then these other teammates are going to fight in positions of strength where they're not going to lose the fight. They're not going to die, and they're just going to get the kills. Maybe the fights don't work out. Maybe Azunis and Fluo die, but if the other teammates back up and stay alive as a core unit, then that does pay off over time.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. They're opting to go in with those big bombs more just to make space and force players back, and it's working out well for them. Of course, have to give a shout out to Eames here with the big 26-8, taking up a big chunk of those heals, taking all the brunt of the Ubers on those last pushes. Yeah, the combo really doing magic for Aura Elektro in that game.
Yeah, and just off the raw damage numbers, 20% more damage coming out from Aura Elektro. So that's just kind of hard to contest with over time. Generation Karnax certainly made it look close. They certainly rallied back from those early rounds that were crazy as well. 2 minutes and 40 seconds to lose 2 rounds. But they got next 3 rounds, took the lead for a little bit, and certainly put on a good show on process. Metalworks, I've always been a fan of Metalworks. Definitely kind of a little surprised that the Euro scene hasn't quite accommodated to it. But at the same time, the map pool is only so big, and there's other maps that were coming out at the same time that were popular over here.
Yeah.
such as Obscura, right?
We're going for an
Metalworks.
unconventional season right now, chucking in a bunch more maps than we're used to and kind of trying to shove them all into this 7-week schedule. So Metalworks, obviously one of the new ones that's been brought in, and it'll be interesting to see who's figured it out the most in this week. It'll be next week is the other week of Metalworks. By then, these teams should be a lot more used to it. Maybe we'll be seeing some more balanced matches, but it all comes down to who's learnt it the fastest right now, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, certainly. And there's going to be, of course, the defenses and offenses of each of these points are really going to how we see that expressed, whether these teams are kind of fumbling around where the medic should be, if players kind of get stretched out, if they don't really know their roles of what spots that they're supposed to keep an eye on. Mid-fights also will be pretty interesting. Mid-fights can be pretty high-flying with players coming out of lower and players bombing, trying to put a lot of damage on that. Kind of similar to process in some ways. Central high ground as well as a little bit of high ground on the sides. Looks like we are just going to go live here, though. Both teams readied up as we're getting our second map underway here. Aura Elektro won the first map versus Generation Karnax. I'm eXtine, joined by Bomb.
Yep, getting into this first mid, Alien is opting to go main, lower with Eames opting to do the same. Karnax and Olga getting straight up on this high ground on the other team's side, whereas most of the Aura team playing inbound, and now Fluo with a big bomb. Azunis is in behind as well.
Yeah, they can't quite find the final rocket there. Yeehaw does get the cleanup, though. Azuna's finally going down on the side. Raph picks up the health pack by Truck before getting taken out by a pipe from Eames. Moolah has been able to get out of this, but a situation overall pretty terrible for Generation Karnax. Mid a little bit sloppy. Azunas with a big bomb, synced it up very well with Fluo, and Generation Karnax all the way back on their last.
Yeah, Moolah and Olga left that mid-fight so early, it kind of looked like they were trying to chase the soldier that had got behind them. They didn't notice he had bombed forwards, and then once he died, they tried to come back again, but then they immediately left again. It was all a bit all over the place on the mid-fight for Generation Karnax, but now even Uber's on last, Olga's playing his favorite class, and just both teams chilling on either side of this lobby area.
Yeah, they're going to be cautious with it. First push into last of this map. If once we're a couple rounds in, they might kind of know what strategy is going to work a little bit better, but being very cautious. Olga on the Pyro. You usually don't see that when their Ubers are even, but always a good class to kind of frustrate the Uber.
And you definitely expect him to be a bit closer as well if he was to do anything, but it looks like he's just opting to stop any rockets getting on his medic, I guess, is the...
Yeah, or the bomb, just kind of generally, it's just very disruptive. Just drives some players insane. You put the Pyro out there, they're just like, oh, what is this?
Yeah, thank God we have some England national Highlander players on the server to...
Well, hey man,
know how to deal with the Pyro class.
If E-Clocks was here, though, might be some trouble for sure for Aura Elektro. This push, though, very slow pace from Aura Elektro, very cautious. Yeehaw is able to kind of poke his head in, kind of free there. Azunis also sort of gets a decent look at it, but doesn't choose to do anything with it.
Yeah, they are getting some space around this shutter area now, managing to force people back off this cover. Olga's going a bit close to blast them back, but neither team really trying to do anything at the moment.
Yeah.
They seem a bit unsure about what they should be doing. Who can blame him? It's a new map. We have our resident American caster to tell them off for doing anything wrong, but...
Well, I mean, first things first, if you want to capture the point, you at least have to attack it. You at least have to get in there, and they're not even trying. You definitely have to find an opening, but I mean, it's possible to just commit. There's no reason why not to just walk in and Uber charge.
And it looks like they are. Nevo and Yeehaw just peeking through, picking up Karnax on the flank.
And this is better. I mean, there's not direct. Oh, there we go. Eames goes down early. Demos really should have popped as soon as he got down to about half health there. And now they're just backing up.
Yeah, that was... It seemed like those scouts were just teasing for so long at the shutter area with no response from the soldiers, but eventually they do decide to pack it in and they just jump on Eames and take him down. But now Raf has managed to get picked off in the shutter, so now Aura pushing forwards again. They get a second pick on the demo man as well. They're surely going into last here.
Yeah, you would hope so, but they are going to have to deal with an uber-charged Pyro.
Yeah.
Gets right on top of Eames. The point does get protected as Olga able to shove back this Aura Elektro team. No uber-charge popped out, but they do buy some time as Alien Smiley respawning and players getting back up to pretty good health. They pick off Nevo as well, so actually look like they
they're
might
looking
try
for this.
this.
They're looking for this counter-sack. They want to get Demos down so he can't push into last.
I think it'll happen too. Yeah, the Ubercharge comes out here, so they're going to try to protect second here. Eames able to get out with fairly good health. Duo has gone down. Raph still healthy though.
And Olga proving he's not insane. As everyone jumps forwards to try and get onto Mula, they can't do anything. Just right-clicking with the Pyro, keeping his medic completely safe, but not safe to Fluo flanking from behind. Can only airblast things in front of him, unfortunately. So now... Once again, it's in a position of advantage for Aura Elektro.
You can either chalk that down to not knowing the map or the medic just being a little bit out of position, a little bit behind. And there's just a real easy flank there, and you do have to commit over to lobby, but kind of stuck in transition between the left side and the right side of those attack routes.
Yeah, so Demo's just waiting for his full advantage here. Azunis peeking the flank. That was a really good last push from Aura Elektro before when they got that force so early. They had their 2 picks, but just the Pyro defending really. And then Yeehor is taking this Uber charge in now really deep. Azunis can't quite play the point when there's a heavy on it, but the rebombs coming in managed to take him down. And it's a 4v5 fight. Azunis and Nevo going deep and get taken down there.
Fluo still out here fighting against Olga now. They're trying to get pressure on the point as well with the scout. Yeehaw is actually fighting Mula. They get the final frag. And there we go. That was much better from Aura Elektro. More reminiscent of what they were doing on Process and what they need to do here on Metalworks.
Yep, they had the disadvantage in that fight, but they just managed to keep their heels on Yeehaw. They're picking up all the frags one by one and capping off the point at the end. Textbook Team Fortress 2 as we're into the second mid here.
And Alien Smiley coming out of mains just like Eames. We'll see how the big bombs here of Azunis and Fluo do. Fluo waiting to come out of choke. Azunis going up big now. Both players jumping. They don't actually really find a whole lot. Olga on the ground. Alien Smiley getting shot at from behind. But he's not getting pressured from up front, so he's able to turn around. Fluo has gotten a kill. Karnax goes down as well, so no scouts. Raf trading and Mula all the way back on second. Alien Smiley backing up.
The Generation Karnax got 3 great kills at the start of that mid. They get Demos, they get Eames, and they get, I believe, a scout. And then I think they just tried to keep Mula alive. Mula ran for the hills straight away, but the rest of the team didn't quite get the memo. They'll just get cleaned up, which lets Red Team take the point, but at least Mula has his full advantage now, and we'll see where he's going to try and use this. Looks like he's taking his team into house.
Yeah, going to be walking it just directly out on Choke as well. No traps there, but Fluo does get in their face. They take a little bit of damage. They at least have some players looking over from the flank. Eames kind of getting shoved back through the choke here. As soon as jumping in, though, the Uber has been popped. Good timing from Mula. Took a lot of damage, but stayed alive.
Yeah, very good play from Azunis. None of Generation Karnax really took much space. They were all just clustered around this their own side of mid, and it just allowed Azunis that cheeky opportunity to go in over their heads, and now the flip-flop has led to an advantage for Demos, but the high bombs from both soldiers gets him to force. They do lose 2 people for it. so they're going to be able to capture mid.
Yeah, they'll be all right with that. I mean, losing mid, not the best, but they will end up with the Ubercharge advantage here. Their players will be spawning in time to get the defense rolling here. Karnax will have to come from the back spawn, but... And alleyway push, well, being contemplated here by Aura Elektro, but they're going to back up. And actually, the counter push coming out here from Generation Karnax, they know that they have the Ubercharge advantage. Fluo in hallway, Azunos is there too. Alien Smiley hits him with a trap. I don't know if he was planning for that, but worked out one way or the other.
Yeah, it looked like his teammate called it for him, maybe.
Yeah.
Manages to blind det the soldier from behind, and this is the first time they've managed to take mid without having to give up their Uber. Now a big bomb in from Raph.
Oh yeah, it barely gets a rocket towards FaZe Deimos, doesn't hit him with it.
Yeah, unsuccessful sack, and Alien's getting caught out on the flank here, so far away from his team. I don't know why he hasn't left earlier. Maybe he got caught, who knows.
No, that just seemed kind of sloppy. Mula does stay forward with Olga. They're getting an attack on it. Deimos will force the pop out from him.
A much better Uber from Deimos, but these players in behind are not making it easy for Aura Elektro. Nevo's dodging all of Duo's rockets though.
Yeah, Olga's there as well. Olga going for the back cap, but will have to deal with two players. He will get the kill on Nevo, but probably won't get the kill on Azunas, as Yeehaw's there as well. The Demo Man coming back, but all that pressure has forced them backwards. Mulo has a slight Ubercharge advantage. Duo respawning though, so I think they're going to pump the brakes on this push.
Yeah, Generation Karnax really made the best of a bad situation there. They had a considerably worse Uber. They had players dead before their Uber even started as well, but just Olga and Duo trolling behind Aura Elektro, making them come back and clean them up, and getting the back cap threat as well just means that Aura could not do anything in terms of pushing forwards. So we're just seeing another stalemate into second here.
Yeah, things getting a little bit slowed down here. So it's just trying to figure out how they want to push this. They are down 1-0. So they have 18 minutes to work with, but it is on them to figure it out. Nevo sniping down low as well. So really the answer here is if you're not going to deal with that sniper, I mean, they've sent one soldier over to the side, which is good. Okay, they have a game plan here. He's bombing in. Gets some damage on Deimos, but not enough. Now they're going to have to watch out for Azunas. I was going to say the game plan is just push through choke if they're going to run a sniper and watch lower.
Seeing a much slower gameplay than we saw on Process. Only one round in the first 12 minutes here, as opposed to the first 2 rounds in 2 minutes last game. But it looks like Aura don't choose to counter-sack. They don't choose to do anything with the death of Generation Karnax's soldier. So we're just still waiting to see if Nevo can get an angle he's comfortable with, and see if anyone's going to be foolish enough to peek into it. He takes a shot onto Alien there, but nothing's going to come of it.
Yeah, they certainly got to take a chance here at some point. If you want to win, if you want to succeed in life, sometimes you got to take chances. They do get the kill on Nevo, which is a good opening. Will allow Karnax and others to bring some more flank pressure. Perhaps just send the whole team from down low. They are going to come out choke side here. Want to maybe push Alien Smiling here. Raph fighting on the side though. Gets launched sky high. Karnax does trade out for Azunas though. Alien Smiley might walk out. There's no stickies, but he's so scared. Olga thinks about coming in, but he backs up.
And actually,
he needs some help right now. Yeah, because he's in a one-on-one versus Yeehaw. Fluo actually running over to help here as well. Raph actually being the helpful teammate and pushes Fluo back.
Raph with another jump. There's no Fluo there to airshot him this time, and he's not going to get anything with it. It's very tricky, Demos, over in this corner to get a sack on him from Ali. You've got to turn around pretty much 3 corners to get to him in the air.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the pressure from flank, just kind of has to be a little bit more significant. Needs to be a scout and a soldier kind of slow pushing from over there. But they're so scared of the Nevo sniper, and they're also not just straight pushing through walkway. They're all the way back by the health pack.
Yeah, so Nevo now keeping his eye on lobby. No one's even giving him a chance to get that instant headshot now, and we see Raf on spy as well. He's underpass right now, gonna sneak up those pipes and see if he can get Demos.
Yeah, that's certainly
Fluo's
another...
checking for him, it looks like. They might suspect the spy here. Oh, and Duo's in with the bomb, gets the force. Raf uncloaks for no reason.
Oh my god, no. So I was just gonna point out, you know, it's like if Duo comes in and he dies, they might be a little bit suspicious. Be like, well, why was that Duo and not Raph?
Yeah.
But then since Raph shows himself, then it's just completely clear. He could have just waited back there.
Olga.
They do get a pick off on Eames though as his Uber charge comes out. They're gonna find Demos as well because he's trapped down low. Both scouts on top of him. Yeehaw does pick up the kill on Karnax. Nevo's still down there fighting as well. Yeehaw picks up the kill on Olga.
Scouts.
Oh no. Yeah, okay, Alien Smiley trades with Fluo. That puts Mula in a tough spot. Are you gonna kill blind versus one scout? Or are you gonna fight it out? He tries to fight it out, gets easily cleaned up. Oh.
And Raph is the sole survivor of this onslaught. That was such a messy fight all over the place. We went from the slowest game to just carnage all of a sudden.
Oh. Yeah, and Raph trying to lurk and get a flank going, but is spotted by Yeehaw. So we'll get taken out kind of easily.
Unfortunate there that Duo just did all the work by himself. Raph didn't even need to be on spy, so it was a free 2 picks off that force. But, you know, everything turns out well for Generation Karnax in the end. Duo hiding in the main choke here, but it doesn't look like anyone's going to be walking towards him as Demos and his combo coming from Valley side. Duo's just going to elect to bomb out of there.
Big bomb. And he comes down, can't sink his rockets, but he gets right behind Demos, and Demos doesn't even notice. He went from full health to 40-ish or whatever, didn't pop, didn't respond. That
was odd. It looked like Duo even ran out of rockets and had to reload one and still gets the kill in time. That's very strange, but Azunis hiding here is going to be able to get back onto Mula, gets his revenge, and the Uber's forced off, but they still have Alien Smiley going really far forwards. Bit of a feed here, he's down to 2 health. Thank God he manages to get out. If Nevo had seen him for a split second longer, he would be out of the game. And now they are going to be able to capture second point here, it looks like. Nevo staying alive a lot longer than he deserves to. He's getting out of here. No, Olga cleans him up.
They are contesting this, holding inside of lobby here, but Eames, the longer he stays here, the flank pressure from Raph is going to create some problems here, although Raph just throws himself at Yeehaw. Nobody else supporting. There goes Olga. I think now if they get this capture, they're not going to hold it, and they don't even get the capture. Karnax backing up, not going to make it out.
Oh, Duo with the last resort, hiding there. Gets 2 rockets on Demos, but not enough damage to get that kill. And it seemed like it was going so well for Generation Karnax getting into second there, but I don't know, Nevo stayed alive for like 10 minutes. And now Generation Karnax on the back foot. Demos has his Uber. Alien Smiley very far forwards again, might get picked off here. Goes low in underpass, and Yeehaw's trying to chase him down.
Well, they were dealing with the forward defense for so long, where basically the defensive team keeps players completely out of second, but they couldn't deal with the kind of the backwards defense, the cautious defense, where everybody basically stands inside of lobby and other players on the flank either fight down low or they fight out of shutter. And once that engagement shifted to that, then Generation Karnax were like a fish out of water, and it just all kind of slipped away from them. Yeah,
exactly. Eames was just trapping up that point from inside the lobby. No one was getting any damage or kills in, and Azunis actually now with a bomb isn't going to find anything onto Mula. Looks like Duo wants to counter-sack here from Valley, but he just gets levitated by 2 scouts. And Olga actually gets caught off as well by Fluo. So it's a 2-for-1 trade here. Once Azunis respawns, Aura might actually look to try something here. Yeehaw and Demos just taking it all the way in from alley. But the big bomb from Fluo goes unfollowed up. and now they've just backed out of Valley.
Yeah, and I think that pressuring through Alley is really strong. Earlier when Generation Karnax were trying to push, they were really scared of the Nevo Sniper. Sort of what hindered them from making that rotation. But we did see that push kind of fail from Aura Elektro. Now Alien Smiley feeling, getting healed up, and his team feeling encouraged by everything that's going on, the circumstances. They want to push in, but
Yeah.
they're also just actually not doing it. They're still just floating around. Duo goes down, and then they're gonna back up.
I like that. They tried to push out off the one sacked player advantage. You don't usually see teams doing that anymore. They just kind of leave it to a counter sack. But yeah, they didn't get through in time. They just let him respawn. They weren't making any plays really, just kind of standing around in Valley until one of their players inevitably died. And it looks like they're trying to do it again. They're pushing forwards off this Azunis pick. They pick up Fluo as well, which is great. Now they definitely have the chance to get into middle with no soldiers to get onto Mular. Raf gets onto Eames, but he surfs out.
Yeah, Raf can't follow in the follow-up rocket. Demos did take a pipe from Alien Smiley. Does have to rotate over to that health pack, but at the same time, Generation Karnax not able to really do anything with that space. Duo picks up the health pack in Alley, but he's going to back all the way up to second point. And going to give Aura Elektro a lot of space to work with here.
Yeah, again, tricky position for Generation Karnax. They get the 2 soldiers picked off that time, but just all 4 players from Aura Elektro standing on point proved too strong for them. They weren't able to do anything. And now Aura with a huge 4-man bust through this flank.
Oh gosh, but sort of being punished for it now as Azunis goes down, Nevo goes down. Yeehaw forced to push out as well. Fluo actually backed by the combo already. So trying to bring a lot through Alley, but they got stuffed there.
Yeah, and Generation Karnax moving off this 1-player advantage again. They only have 10 minutes on the clock, and it looks like we have a pause. So yeah, with 10 minutes on the clock and still being a round down on this very slow game, Generation Karnax are just trying to push off everything they can get, whether it's 1-person advantage or 2-person advantage. They're always trying to get into mid. And
oh, technical, dang it. You know, as a caster, I was just about to say, you know, as casters, really our job is to speculate, and I was going to speculate that maybe this was another tactical pause, or Elektro getting rolled back, right? Isn't that the dream? Generation Karnax just takes them all the way back to last, or Elektra shook, cause a technical timeout, but maybe not. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Again, the 5 players from Generation Karnax trying to get in through Valley, and it looks like the positioning from Aura Elektro is roughly the same as last time. They're all just kind of hanging around point, apart from Fluo, who might be about to go for a flank, unless he's been called out here. I can't tell from the pause if anyone's got their eyes on him. But we do have the unpause here. And Generation Karnax look like they're getting straight back out.
9 minutes left on the clock here as Aura Elektro still with a 1-0. And Aura Elektro in control of the point here. Looks like they're going to start trying to get in position here to push. Mula does have an overcharge here. Azunis kind of getting shoved back from Choke. And not just gonna kind of shove the Uber charge through there, which is kind of just do have to commit at some point here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where's the offense? I mean, they are up 1-0, so you know I'm all for game theory stuff. They don't have to push, right?
Yeah, but they have been the ones putting the pressure on this whole time. They've been sacking a lot. It seems like Generation Karnax don't really want to sack out of second. Azunis in again onto Mular.
There we go.
Gets a great pop by surfing him up against the wall.
Yeah.
And manages to get the amazing air shot on the invincible player. But now Demos has full advantage. They're just going to wait for Azunis to spawn by the looks of it.
Okay, and it looks like that's where the pause was. So that's good. You know, seems like no problems whatsoever. You know, in terms of like a player.
Yeah.
You know,
No medics
PC
disconnecting or anything.
Yeah. It looks like they are going to try to take this Ubercharge alley side. Raph does go for the big bomb. Can't quite get enough penetration that he wants. Gets one shot on Demos. Throws him backwards, but that health pack is up. So he's already back to full health here. And they're just going to be able to take second.
Nice surf around the corner from Demos there to keep himself alive. And it looks like they think they still have advantage, but they don't. Mula's been building this, and they use in. They get the level 1 sentry down.
It doesn't matter.
Only just blue team Ubering now. They could have just not even used their blue team, probably. Generation Karnax could have saved that for a full advantage, and now a scrappy fight in lobby is ensuing.
Very scrappy indeed, but we'll see if the Olga Pyro can come through once again. Alien Smiley fighting in main. Olga pushing forward. And does at least light Fluo on fire. And that was one of the soldiers getting on second duo. So they've actually picked up 2 frags here. This is going pretty well.
Is that the panic attack I just saw in the kill feed? I didn't even know that gun was still in existence.
Unfortunately, at least from my perspective, Olga gonna run back, switch over to Scout. I love seeing the Pyro. I love seeing off classes in general. And sometimes you get stuck on an off class in transition, and you just gotta roll with it. But Olga actually runs all the way back. That slows down the push a little bit here. Demos will get Ubercharge.
Yeah, as well as
Pyro, right?
As well as electing to go through the choke, they got to about 5 spam rockets sent at them. They just got so much damage in that small space, they had to get out of there.
And then Karnax has gone down 15 seconds before he respawns, so this is a very good window for Elektro to pad the scoreline here.
Yeah, it looks like Eames is peeking around this alleyway. Fluo's in with a bomb, which is very unsuccessful, gets caught on the fence there. Raph counter-sacks, but also gets nothing. And now Duo with a skybox jump, but doesn't do anything with it. Oh, I can see why Americans play for an hour if nothing happens for this long.
I mean, you know, I know that I don't have mainstream views of TF2, or, you know, but I love the 30 minutes. I'll take slow 30-minute games any day. But yeah, an hour, you're right. It's crazy. But I like this map. You know, I think these teams, I don't think they have it figured out. I think that's why it's part of the problem.
I definitely agree. I've seen a lot of complaints about it in Europe so far, but is it just because you're too dumb to understand it? You European idiots?
I mean, no. I don't mean to be disrespectful. It's just new, you know. And these teams are being very cautious. That's what's going on. They're just very cautious. Yeah,
they've not got everything figured out. But now Fluo goes down, and Olga's trying to make something happen off
Another big bomb.
Duo in with a big bomb, lands on Demos' head, but doesn't have the rockets to get the kill. Generation Karnax gonna have to leave here. Karnax himself, the namesake of the team, gets cleaned up in lobby. And Mula's not in a great position at all, caught on this point here. Let's Azunis gets a big force on him.
And I mean, Generation Karnax were in a position, just, you know, again, game theory wise, they're down 1-0, they have to push out. That's what they had to do. Unfortunate for them, didn't execute it very well, didn't work out so well. They just need to be a little bit more decisive, and I think, again, it's that cautiousness combined with just not knowing the map and not wanting to make big mistakes. There is 3.5 minutes left on the map. They certainly could still do things here, but Demos with an Ubercharge advantage, and it's just these like situations where it's like they don't realize how good off they are, you know. I feel like they could have easily thrown in some players to get that Uber pop right there.
Duo is hiding again in Valley. Duo's behind at this point as everyone walks past him in house here. But now that they're backing out, he's not in a useful position.
Or Elektro playing kind of passive here, that it just, again, doesn't make Duo, well, unfortunately, it's like he should have just hid there, you know, continue to hide there. As useless of a spot it was, you know, just under the circumstances.
Yeah, it would have been great if Aura had managed to carry on pushing, but still keeping their 1-0 lead. Olga on Pyro off of last. I love it too. Don't see it often, and he's managed to catch Nevo in this. He's just annoying him with the air blast.
The flash comes in to keep him alive a little bit longer. But yeah, it does go down. And the push is out here. I mean, honestly, this is a pretty good opportunity here for Generation Karnax. And again, 2.5 minutes on the clock. It is completely a possibility that they could tie this up. We haven't seen...
That is the one place that Pyro is actually pretty good, is in an Uber trade, because your team can move forwards and their team cannot, because you just right-click. And then, obviously, if you get someone caught in a corner like that, you can just bully Nevo on a health pack.
Nevo, with the level 2 sentry gun on the side of the point here, just trying to keep his team in this. It goes down quickly, though. Raph goes down as well.
Got onto Demos in the meantime, after the gun went down. So Demos is down, and Mula has a full advantage, but Yeehaw's onto him and gets cleaned up by Olga's flames there, with Karnax helping him to finish it off. Fluo in behind as well, in onto Mula, and Mula just forces off. That was poor.
Yeah, that was a little soft for sure. I mean, earlier
you've got a scout and a pyro on you, and you didn't take one rocket. I guess he just kind of panicked there, but that could be like game-changing. Now there's 2 minutes left on the clock. He would have had full advantage for last here, but he no longer does.
Yeah, the heavy weapons guy scares him off. Alien Smiley does get the pipe down on that sentry gun, so that's not going to be around to help out. He's building it again in the corner. Karnax has gone down here. Do they wait for Uber charge? They do. They try to force this issue now, and it looks like they're backing off. Olga.
Maybe Olga should have gone on Pyro earlier. As soon as he's on it, they've managed to finally break that stalemate.
Well, he's going to stay on it. I thought he might go back to change with Karnax coming out of the spawn room, but he is going to change stay on the Pyro here.
And it's last chance saloon for Generation Karnax to get some points out of this match here. They're going to take it in onto Olga. He clears the trap. He's onto the sentry. The Pyro solo. He's onto Demos, forces it off.
Yeah, I like that on this Metalworks point. He's trying to fight behind the point. Does get taken out by Eames. No other follow-up pressure, though, as several players down for Generation Karnax. 20 seconds left on the clock. Azunas fighting on second point. Medic and the soldier just got to get forward, at least just to say you showed up and tried. 10 seconds left. And Alien Smiley goes down to the trap. Eames had it just figured out over his head. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Players pushing forward. He's standing on the point. It's too little, too late. GGs are called. Nice attempts by Generation Karnax. Again, they made it close, but or Elektro just showing that they are a step ahead in terms of team development, strategy, and execution.
Yeah, a lot closer on both maps than I expected it to be, but in the end, it's 6 points, all of the available points going to Aura Elektro in this official. And we are going to be looking at the logs now. Let's have a look at who the difference makers were on this relatively stale map.
Yeah, certainly a little slow, but again, Yeehaw just coming up huge. Not just 26 frags. I have to underline the 2 deaths. That's ridiculous, to be honest.
How do you not die that much? That's crazy. It's a very low death game for the medics overall. Obviously, being spending most of their lives in that corner of second. But
yeah, I mean, Yeehaw soaking up 25% of the heals, but still, it's just kind of really crazy accomplishment. Not having to do too much work, just kind of floating around, soaking things up. So I think we are going to have some interviews here real quick. If we can have some words, and Olga is in here.
Hi.
Right, and so how you doing, Olga? Kind of unfortunate, tough loss for you guys. It seemed like both of those maps extremely close. What are your immediate thoughts on this match that just happened?
Well, really frustrated, I would say, because like last week, like the same score happened against top 5. Mm-hmm. We lost by maybe 3 seconds. So here we were not that close, but we were 1 point behind. So yeah, a bit frustrated.
Was there any key quotes or advice that was given after those first 2 rounds on process where you guys got stomped in 2.5 minutes? Because you guys turned it around after that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There was no quotes. I mean,
Okay.
no call really, but we just managed to focus a bit more.
And Metalworks as well, you guys did have some good opportunities, but it seemed like there might have been a little bit of awkwardness pushing into the map. Do you feel like it was kind of the architecture of the map that was causing you problems, or just you guys not feeling super confident on what the best strategy was?
Well, obviously, the second choice. Like, I mean, that's the first season we are playing Metalworks. Like, literally the first week. So, yeah, and I think when I was crew, we just lost, like, again and again. Like 5-0 and stuff.
Yeah.
It was pretty harsh, but...
And you're up to your pyro hijinks again on Metalworks. That seemed to be the only time the game managed to be out of stalemate. Do you reckon if you'd brought out the pyro earlier, it could have been avoided earlier, or what do you think?
Well, yeah, maybe, but like, well, as always, Raph is really upset when I take pyro, even if it managed to break the situation out. But
Six is elitist.
Yeah, I already knew that the pyro was good on this map. Unfortunately, I can't play detonator now, but
well, it's a pretty impressive showing from you on the pyro, and your team did really great. We're going to kind of keep things short so that we can head on over to the TFTV stream. Viewers can catch the end of that game. But any final shout-outs from you, Olga?
Well, shout out to our team. Shout out to Mula for taking the job to be able to go to lab. Shout out to the enemy team. Shout out to Nevo and Azanis. And well, shout out to you, eXtine, for being a wonderful caster, to Bomb, and obviously to Wiethoofd.
Yep, for sure. Took the words out of my mouth. Appreciate, of course, our viewers as well coming in and being such a great audience. We're going to wrap things up, though, so you guys can pop over to Team Fortress TV. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Thanks so much for you guys playing. Best of luck moving forward. I am eXtine, and we will see you guys next time.